Yo guys, Suno Studio has a new update. Today we're going to investigate it and we're going to create a Tyler the Creator style track. Very neo-soulish, R&B, kind of alternative in a way. So let's go into Logic Pro. First, I like to record my idea first and then drag it into Suno. So let's record, let's say we're at like 93 BPM. Yeah, it's slow enough. Okay, and then let's record some chords. So I'm just going to record my mic and the keys. Let's turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear. So I'm just going to play those two chords and just try to come up with an idea for melodically. Harmonies for recording. All right, so what I love about Suno is we could just record that raw idea and we're going to export this and drag it into Suno. So if you're in Logic and you need to export, go to File, Export, and we're going to do all tracks as audio files. And we're going to save this anywhere on your computer. So basically I have mine on my desktop. Just make sure you guys hit hide options so you could actually see the folders. And I have a folder called Suno Studio. We'll just call this Tyler the Creator and put it right in here. So we'll just put song 1 because I don't have a name for it yet. All right, boom. All right, so now we have Suno Studio open. We're going to go to our Suno Studio folder, go to the Tyler the Creator folder, song 1. We're going to drag each track in one by one. And we also need to set the BPM here at the bottom. And let's double click. Let's go to manual BPM and type in 93. This prevents it from doing BPM drifts that it normally does when it just does like freeform music. Okay, so now we have that. What Suno is doing is analyzing the audio. So it's not just time stretching it. It's also basically creating a prompt for us to describe the music. So this could take a little bit of time, but once it's done, we should see it here. All right, so now we have it in Suno. We can run this from the beginning. So we should hear the same exact thing. I have my metronome on just to make sure the timing is in sync. All right, so the cool thing about the new Suno Studio, this version is we're going to close the creation and the work space area. Let's just right click here and actually let's left click. And where is it at here? I lost it already. Let me figure out how to do this. Okay, is it remix? Let's go to the bottom. Let's add a track and let's highlight this area. We're going to create background vocals. Let's do backing vocals. Let's give it a style. Let's do R&B. Let's do female vocals because I don't want, let's do female harmonies. Harmonies are chords, basically more notes than just one note. Let's add that in here. So this should read our audio information and wrap around the idea. So the new feature I was going to show off is called the cover feature. You can now just right click and do it that way. But for original audio, we're going to create what's called a remix. So let's right click and remix this selection here. So right now it's uploading this basically as an audio prompt. I don't have any lyrics for it. If you do have lyrics for it, it will auto generate those lyrics. And let's call this, since we can't use celebrity names, let's call it like neo soul, R&B soft. Okay, if I had to describe it with my own words. And let's just see what it comes up with. And it looks like it even has suggested keywords like black male vocalist. I didn't want to put a genre to it because I want to see what it comes up with. And all right, so that's that. Now for the Suno creations, where did they put it? Okay, here it is. So if you click on their generations, notice this does not, oh, was it there the whole time? Okay, I'm just not paying attention. Okay, that's my mistake. So in the bottom right, I didn't realize I was there. I thought you had to right click up here. Anyhow, click on the mic that we selected. We're going to go to where it says lead vocal and let's create a cover. So I need to actually change the prompt to R&B. Let's just keep it female. It doesn't matter. R&B female. I already put harmonies, so we'll see what it comes up with. But let's see what these background vocals sound like. So we're expanding the song idea. All right, so now let's remix the original. Or covered the original. So now it keeps the same things as the original, but just in a different voice. So this is one of the newer features here. All right, let's add a track in here. Let's add a good in. Here's a good old woodwind. Type in R&B flute. I guarantee you guys will hear a crazy melody. Now we can sit here and come up with lyrics. You guys can basically just click in here and think of lyrics and just recover it with the lyrics. So I didn't have any lyrics in mind. I just had mumbling. That's usually how songwriting is done. You don't really know exactly what you're going to say. You're kind of just freestyling. And wait for this R&B flute. It's a guaranteed banger. Told you. Seems a little off. Seems like off by a little like half beat or something. So let's drag it up. Okay, I think I moved. Okay, so it did some kind of time stretch wizardry afterwards. Notice I'm not doing drums yet. Let's start naming these tracks here. So, I mean, you know, if you want to experiment, we can add an electric bass. Let's put electric bass just to see what it comes up with. And maybe some hand drums, like a percussion layer here with maybe like bongos and congas. That usually adds a vibe. But again, we're going to do drums back in Logic Pro. I might pause the video and produce so that we're not eating up a bunch of time just watching me be in Logic. I want to show you guys how I would use Suno Studio. So far, this is basically a custom-made sample for us. Now, the new Suno Studio also has this EQ. I rarely touch EQ unless I specifically have to. But let's say for the bass, for example, you want a little more oomph. I would usually do this in the DAW. But let's go to the bass. Click on the EQ. And we're going to boost right here at about 75 hertz. You can read the values right here. 75 hertz and below usually gives you a nice boost. And then we want to boost at about 2 dB, you know, not too loud. Let's go to the percussion. Let's boost up the highs a little bit. Trying to figure out where that is coming from. I think it's the percussion layer. It has like artifacts in it. Yeah, so there's some artifacts in the percussion. What we could do is click on this percussion and go to where it says clip and extract stems. And we're going to do vocals and instrumental. That should remove the vocal from this generation. So sometimes that happens. It's not a huge deal because bongos, we weren't even really worried about the bongos. So we'll mute that for now. let's see if okay, so I see instrumental, but I don't see the vocal stem. I guess there was no vocal stem. Okay, so let's click the left arrow to add that to and it should be clear of the vocal. I still hear a little vocal. I don't think it can perceive, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's just keep the original. Now, keep in mind also we have other takes, so if you click this little plus button, +1, we could choose the other take. Let's see what the other congas sound like. There we go, let's do this one. And then we can left click and drag it to a new track. Let's just name it percussion. And let's get rid of the original. We want to get rid of anything we're not using, so let's just get rid of it. So I'm pleased with all this. All right, so let's go to export and let's do multi-track. And this, they've sped it up tremendously. And we're going to drag these into Logic Pro. All right, so here's the multi-track folder I downloaded. We're just going to left click and drag this into Logic. For example, let's create new tracks. And because everything has been synced and perfectly time stretched, they fixed all the issues for us. So we're at 93. And now we can go all the way back. And now we can add effects, make it our own sample. So I'm just going to show you guys a couple things. I may or may not make this into a full beat today, but I just wanted to show you guys how I would create samples using Suno. But we might as well take it all the way and add some drums here. So let's add some reverb to the vocal. Creating a send to send some reverb. Send to the reverb channel. Let's turn that flute down a little bit. Now at the end it loses some time values, mainly because we didn't have drum ideas there. So it looks like we created, 20 bars? Let's just use 16 bars. We don't need 20 bars. So let's highlight all this right here. Let's put the playhead over here, hit Command T. Just get rid of the excess. We don't even need that anyway. So I'm gonna move a little bit quicker here because this is not like a tutorial about how to mix. I'm just trying to pull up some of the vocals here. Adding random effects here, just adding a vibe to it. That bass is going in. All right, let's try a couple preamps on the bass here. Let's add an EQ. I think we added the EQ in Suno, from what I remember. So we don't need to go crazy with this. So this process we're doing is called mixing, for those who are new. We're just like editing sounds individually. I think we have backing vocals I forgot about. Let's add like a flanger to that. All right, now I'm just gonna add random drums. We're not gonna think too much on this beat. We're just gonna do stuff. Let's just get in a vibe here. And if you want to learn beat making, just go to busyworksbeats.com/betterbeatmaker. I have a whole course that just guides you step by step through all this stuff. So let's find some drums to add in here. And it's free, by the way, the course. So I like this. 2. Through just so we have time differences. Let's find some more random sounds. So these are very light percussive sounds here, so when Suno doesn't have a drum to build around, it guesses timing, but so far so good with the timing here. If anything gets off time, we can always go to Logic Pro, click on the percussive layer or whatever drum sound, and we can quantize it to the grid. I recommend 1/32 or 1/16. I think we have to turn flex on. Yeah, I think we have to turn the flex mode on for this to work. So now we'll synchronize with the BPM a little bit more and be less loose. We can do that for any instrument, by the way, the bass, anything that's kind of determining the groove. Let's do it for the bass. Turn this little DNA icon on, turn flex up on up here. Let's quantize this for the 1/32. Any fast moving thing, we're gonna go 1/32. Any slower moving thing, I usually do 1/16. Let's see what else we can find. So far this track's coming out crazy. Okay, let's record it. A lot of percussion in here, not heavy drums. We may be able to find a heavy drum that fits this. I don't think a heavy drum would fit this vibe though. But let's quantize a little bit. We just need a find a drum. because we have like 1,000 things going on, let's group all this into a track stack. That way I could kind of visually see where the meters are. Let me just grab everything and just turn it down all at once. There we go. So we're looking for a kick. Kind of like this Kanye. Let's record this in. I did that drum because I just want to see if we can quantize it. That's a little heavy, so we're gonna have to probably alter the bass. Let's just cut out the lows on the bass, like the super lows. Let's leave the tone of the bass. Add a chorus to the bass to widen it. So I'm trying to combine that kick with the bass. It's a little difficult because they're both in the same range. That's pretty dope. Really unique sound here. I feel like Tyler the Creator would use a weird sound like this. I don't know, I like them both. My ear likes this weird sound. I don't know why, it just stands out a little bit more. Kind of has the Neptune's vibe to it. Now we can take off the stuff on the bass. Alright, so now we need like a snare that really stands out. Alright, so I like these weird drums, very weird. So we have a lot of sounds. Mainly that bass is very, very active, and it's kind of just trying to play the main character. Bass a little bit. bass is really trying to take the lead. So now let's open up our own drums for that final like trap sound here. Let me record this in. Happening is the bass is overly quantized, so I'm going to pull it back off the quantization. See if that corrects the issue. So right now it's a timing issue between the vocals, the bass, and the stuff that we added. It's the only thing about Suno that I wish it just printed the time warps. I don't think they print the time warps. I could be wrong. Now this is level. Sample delay on this snare. Now to arrange this, again, you're not going to have everything playing at the same time. Let's see if we could duplicate this over. And for the first half, let's start taking out stuff. So let's take out the key, the vocal. Debating if I want the bass in here. I feel like the drums are just too many drums here. On the second half, I filtered out the bass, so it's a little more muffled. Quantize the vocals on 1/32. does like, dude. Just kind of. Maybe I'll just take out that this part right here. It's just like a random piece. So you do sometimes have to go in here and edit stuff. It's not perfect 100% all the time. Delaying the audio a little to the right for the vocal here. So if it's more in the pocket, I think the bass needs that little delay too. It's just a little too early, I think. Now the bass feels more in pocket, just because we delayed it. At the end it gets a little messy, but so there are some time inconsistencies with Suno sometimes, especially with this when you don't add drums to your generation. Let's mix this idea a little bit. Let's add a compressor in here. And then I'll slow it down. Give it that like Leon Thomas effect. So we don't want to overly produce here because that could be easily done. Now we're going to use this thing called Vary Speed, a hidden feature in Logic. We're going to right click this icon, go to where it says Customize Control, switch this to Custom, turn on where it says Vary Speed, click out of here, go to the top, click at the top, go to where it says Vary Speed, Pitch, and what was it? Pitch and Speed and Pitch. Go to the right here, switch it to the semitones setting, and then we could pull this up or down in semitones. This usually slows it down or speeds it up. how some of the elements go off beat it towards the end. That's because we didn't have drums. But let's pitch this up and see what it does. Plugging off vocal bender. Let's see what it sounds like. I like this energy, this level of it. It's a little fast, but I like the feeling of it. Let's play this one more time. So it needs a couple time adjustments here and there, but this is a vibe. So you guys saw the whole process. Go to Suno Studio, just go to busyworksbeats.com/Suno. That will take you over to Suno. Basically, it just tells them that you came from here. All right, y'all. Peace, and subscribe if you're new. If you want to learn how to make beats like the pros, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Peace.